Come here, Sheba.
We are recording.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to week 2. I'm so glad everybody's here. Again, I can only see some people. I don't understand how this works on that. Okay, but anyway. So welcome. So buckle up, get comfy, grab yourself a drink. If you're cold, get a blanket. Get settled in. We're going to be here for the next 45 minutes, and then we've got 15 minutes of Q&A afterwards if anybody has questions. We're going to be talking tonight about how to get bookings out and about, how to get bookings from scratch, how to start from zero and get bookings. This is great information for new consultants. This is great information for seasoned consultants who just need to relaunch. You know, sometimes we need a reboot. So we're going to first hear from Angela Campbell, and then we're going to hear from Becky, and then we'll all kind of be pitching in. So Angela, take it away.
All right. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the virtual side of getting bookings. When you basically when you first start, you have to get all of those from scratch, and sometimes even afterwards, if your bookings from your parties don't pan out the way you know they should, you occasionally have to do getting some bookings from scratch there too. So in virtual world, we do that with green dotting. And one of the things that I really teach my team that's super important to that is tracking. You absolutely want to track every contact that you make. It's really, really important. There's a lot of different ways to track them. I have a spreadsheet in my team. I think that Becky has. She uses some Facebook inbox stuff. She was showing us. That was pretty cool. There's lots and lots of ways to track them, but tracking is super important. And that's because, so I have, I have a party that I just scheduled last night that was from a party 3 or 4 months ago. And they had said yes, but then didn't respond back to me. And of course I got busy and didn't look back at it for a while. And then when I went back and looked at my tracking sheets, I found that one that, had the yes beside it and no date. So I was like, okay, I got to contact them. So tracking, you really, if you're not tracking it, you're going to miss out on people or parties that you could be booking. But we use green dotting in our virtual parties. And I know my team members that are on here are very familiar with that. We do. That's our first training. Probably, I don't know how familiar the rest of you are with it if you've done virtual. So tell me, how many of you guys are actually more virtual? How many of you mostly do home parties that are on the call right now?
I'm virtual.
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 Oh, virtual. I didn't hear a single home party in there. Okay, so we're...
Well, I'm doing my first one next Friday, but it's not really a home party. It is at my husband's office with 50 people.
Yes, and that's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see how that. So.
And they're going to do their own videos and pictures too.
So you guys are all probably very familiar with green dotting then, since you're all virtual. But in my team, what I try to teach them about it, and I have a little message that I give them, and I tell them, you can modify this to make it sound like you, but there's some key elements that you need to always 100% of the time have in your green dots. Number one is, it is not about you. So I've seen, I can't even tell you how many messages, and even got some myself about, oh, I need to have 3 more parties this week or this month, or I need this and I need that. Nobody cares. Just being real. They don't care. What they care is when you make it about them. So instead of sending a message, that's the really key part of a green dot message, is making sure that the message is about them and what hosting a party can do for them, not about you at all. And so in our group, we have one, and I actually have the template, which I can share in the Director Bound team later. But my template actually says, I thought about you because, and then I've got in brackets, put the reason why you thought about this person, make it personal. Because that is, oh, I got to take my blanket off. I'm getting a little warm in here. So making it personal and why it is about them is really the key to being successful with green dotting. So some of the other things that we can do when we're virtual, I've seen, this one's a little bit unusual, but I've seen some people like in their business page go live with, which we should all have business pages, right? You guys are all using business pages?
Yes.
Except Joanna. Oh, no, Joanna really is. That's the first thing I have my TV.
I'm posting you right now.
So I've seen them go live in their business page and just show like the specials for the month and whatever the product is, do a demo with that product. The big thing with getting somebody to book a party is creating a desire in them for what you have and what hosting a party can do for them. So that is the probably the largest part of getting parties booked virtually is just creating that desire and that excitement for it. One of the other things, like I teach my team how to do bookings from their parties, and I know we'll cover more of that later in a different week. But once you have those parties on your schedule, it's really important because it's important to get out of your warm market and get into the friends of friends circle. So it's really important once you have those parties on your schedule that you book parties from your parties. So you're not doing it all from scratch continuously. Some other ideas that I've seen on getting bookings from scratch. Oh, I think we got something weird happening. Can you guys still see and hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Something weird popped up on my screen. So I've been having internet issues. Wasn't sure there. So a couple of other things that I've seen some people doing with getting parties from scratch is really just sending, like, these are some, it works for some people. So sending, like when you're sending out mail, putting your stamps on your, crazy today, your address label, having a PC address label that you put on there. So like every piece of mail that goes out of my house has a PC address label. It's got my website information. It has all my information right on that. So there are a lot of hands that handle that piece of mail, right? So there's a lot of people seeing that would never get my information otherwise. Email. Do you guys all have like a signature set up in your email that has your Pampered Chef stuff in it?
I haven't thought about that.
Yes. So I actually, the funniest place, so my daughter does K-12 virtual school. And so I emailed one of her teachers a couple of weeks ago, and we were having some issues with it. So he calls me right after I send the email, and he was like, "Hey, I saw in your email that you were a Pampered Chef consultant." So that opened that door up with her teacher. So now I'm talking with him about it. So that's another great place to get bookings from scratch also. And really, that's all of the notes that I have. So do you guys have any questions?
What do you suggest as far as follow-up? Like, let's say you have your signature line in your email and somebody responds to you. How do you, or how do you use those means as ways to take the reins? In other words, instead of just waiting for someone to get back to you because they saw your information, how do you use those as ways to go out and get rather than just put your name out?
Those are probably not as much of that because unless they get back to you, you don't really know who's looking at it. But it's something that you definitely want to have out there because, you know, like that teacher, he would have not ever known that I sold Pampered Chef. And then so we were talking on that call and he was like, yeah, I've got a kitchen full of Pampered Chef because his wife loves it. So, you know, I got that connection and have that going now. And it's not, that one's more of a passive way to do it, but there are, you know, multiple ways to get when you're looking at getting them from scratch. And really, honestly, green dotting for virtual parties is the best way just because, well, let me rephrase that. In my opinion, that's the best way. And the reason why I think that is because if you're booking a virtual party, you want to book with somebody who's in the virtual world, right? I mean, if you go out and meet someone at the grocery store, that person may or may not ever get on Facebook or do virtual stuff. But if you're green dotting people that are active in Facebook already, then those are people that you know are already doing those kinds of things.
Gotcha.
And
Can I say something?
Sorry, go ahead.
There's like, you know, the birthdays. You can do search people who are having birthdays coming up on your Facebook and ask if you can pamper them for their birthday. So that's a good idea. Looking at future birthdays coming up, you know, October, November, and say it's totally free. You know, I do all the work. You just sit back and have fun with your friends, and I'll give you, you know, a birthday gift for hosting a party. What do you think? So that's something like what I send. And if you've had some virtual parties under your belt, you know, when you get orders, you get emails. I save all those emails in a little box in my inbox, and I will go back through those emails, and because their emails are in those notifications that you get that you got an order, and you can follow up with them and say, hey, did you get everything on your wish list? If not, let's get you some for free or at a discount, you know. And I send the host specials and ask them which month, you know, they would like best. So those are a couple of things that I do. I just started doing this follow-up with the email because I heard it in some kind of training I did, but I've done lots of trainings lately, so I don't know which one it was, but I've gotten a couple bookings that way. So, you know, with the
I do a text follow-up that's similar to that same thing that you're doing with the email, but it's texting everybody who ordered in the party.
Yeah, same thing, you know.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know, the new website is super mobile friendly now. So you can go to those orders on your phone and you can actually click the number and do a text.
Nice.
I mean, like they've made it really, really nice for us to do text follow up with our customers for sure.
Saves a lot of time.
Do what?
I said it saves a lot of time that way.
Oh, yes.
Anybody else have any more questions for Miss Angela? Nope. All righty. Well, we're going to move on. So let me ask you guys, does everybody know how many shows they want on their calendar? Does everybody know that number? Do you know how many spaces you have open in the next 90 days on your calendar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for my people that are doing cooking shows or getting into cooking shows, that's really, really important to know. You definitely want to know when your next cooking show dates are, because guys, let's face it, if you don't know, neither will your customers, right? You have to have a plan for your business, and as a business owner, having a business strategy and a business plan is really, really important. So I know, you know, I do 50-50, so I do half virtuals, I do half cooking shows. And I know every single month that I want to have at least 10 cooking shows on my calendar, and I want to do at least 6 virtual parties every single week. All right. So that's what I want my calendar to look like, you know? And so if I get to the spot where I'm at a week and my calendar doesn't look that way, then it's time to react. So not only do we need to know what our calendar looks like, we need to be proactive instead of reacting to it. So you need to say, okay, I'm looking at 30 days out, and if my calendar right now is not close to where I want it to be, how am I going to get it to where I want to go with it? Okay. So what I do every month is, like, right now I'm focused on, you know, November and December bookings, because October should have already been booked by the 15th of the previous month. And if it's not, that still gives me time to then book October shows. Okay. So you want to get yourself into the habit of, right now it's October 10th, and by October 15th, you want November to be completely 100% booked. Okay. So what that does for you is it kind of lets you still have a window that you can react if it's not there, but it also lets you do effective host coaching. And we're going to talk about that next week, because there's nothing else and more important than host coaching, whether it's a cooking show or a virtual party. Both of them, you have to host coach. But your calendar is like your Bible in this business, okay? You literally need to look at it every single day. It needs to be open and in front of you, and you need to know exactly what your business needs from you every day. And on that, you need to touch your business every single day. You know, think of a big box retail, right? Somebody has to go and flip on those lights every single day. Somebody has to show up and turn the key and open the door and walk in and open that business. Are you opening your business every single day? Because if you're not opening your business every single day, the bookings are not going to come, right? Because we have to be proactive. So I would tell you, for me, I think the calendar, having your calendar and having a goal for your calendar is probably the number one. No matter virtual, no matter cooking show, that's my number one tip for you guys, is to know what you want your calendar to look like.
Backing up to the calendar thing, and I know, Becky, you and I have been trained very similarly over the years. For those of you who want to do live shows and who use a paper calendar, what I was taught many years ago was to go through your paper calendar and circle all the dates that you are available to do shows. First, you fill out you got it. First, you fill out your calendar with all of your obligations, your family commitments, baseball games, soccer games, doctor's appointments, meetings, whatever, you know, your obligations. Then in green, you mark off all the days you're available to work. Why green? The color of money. Money. So that way you can open up your calendar. Let me grab mine. Oh, when somebody says to you, when are you available to do a show? You can say, well, here's what I've got. And if you guys can see, they're marked in green, the days I'm available to do shows, and all my obligations are filled in. And my obligations are things as little as coaching calls, webinars, doctor's appointments, yoga classes, but it makes me look much busier than I am. You know, this looks like a very busy calendar, when indeed most of it is just fluff. Then you can put in the shows that you're going to do. Same thing for virtuals. You'll want to keep your calendar and mark in your calendar how many, you know, let's say you want to do 10 virtuals, put 10 circles in your calendar. You check them off as you fill them up. Go ahead, Becky. I'm sorry I jumped in on you.
You're fine. Absolutely. You're fine. But it is, you know, the more busy, the busier you appear, the better off you are. Okay.
The busier you'll become.
People want to book shows with busy people, okay? Because they know that us busy people, we are also some of the best people at micromanaging and, you know, really staying on task when we have so many tasks to do, okay? So let's talk social media strategies for a couple minutes, because in my opinion, social media is super, super important, no matter whether it's cooking shows or virtual parties. And I have a list of do's and do nots for you guys, okay? So you're definitely going to want to have that pencil ready. You probably already picked up that I talk kind of fast. But do not, okay? You do not want to appear as anything less than a respectful human being on social media, okay? Etiquette on social media is absolutely 150% super important in the social media world. What does that mean? That means that your language is really, really important, whatever you're posting on Facebook. You do not want to be cursing, being, insensitive to, different races, religions, anything like that, anything you may disagree with. You
Keep your
do
mouth
not,
to yourself.
yeah, you do not want to be political on social media, okay? And I know we are getting ready to head into an election, and I should not be able to look at any of your social media accounts and tell whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, okay? I know, yes, we are all entitled to our opinions, but I want you to remember that the customers that you're working with can fall into any one of those categories. And so you do not want to alienate your customers, okay? Especially if they have a difference of opinion with you. You don't want to appear as, because we are so hyper politicized right now, that you are only wanting to service one half of our communities, okay? Nobody should know what your personal opinions are, because that's really not a place for social media, okay? Grammar, your grammar on social media is extremely important. There is an app, Grammarly.
April.
Grammarly is your best friend. Hook it up to your computer, your phone, your every app, so that when you write, it corrects your grammar, okay? Again, if you're working with very well-educated customers and we appear less than, do you think that they're going to want to book a show with someone that is not amongst the same wavelength as them? Probably not. So grammar check, okay? And if you need a helper with grammar check, just ask Carolyn. She'll be your best friend.
I'm a horrible speller. That's why it's just cracking me up, because I have to check myself all the time, and thank goodness for autocorrect.
Yes, Siri.
Exactly.
Well, except when autocorrect corrects me incorrectly when I'm trying to say one thing and it makes me say something else.
Yes.
I could tell you some horror stories of things that I've posted in the past that I was like so embarrassed about, but we ain't going there. No begging, okay? We are not in this business to beg people for business, okay? No begging allowed. And your leaders, if they don't correct you on that one, shame on them, because we are in this business to serve other people. Yes, we are a product of it and we get served ourselves, but we are in this business to serve other people and their needs. Begging, it makes you appear desperate, okay? It makes
If
you
you're desperate, that tells people that you're not good at what
you're not busy,
because if
right?
you were good at what you did, you wouldn't need to beg. So by begging, you're
shooting yourself in the foot.
Thank you. That's the term I was looking for.
Okay, so this one, I know you're probably going to have some people that say yes, some people that say no. But guys, I've been doing social media for 8 years, okay? I have been doing marketing forever. And challenge posts, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? My director challenged me to sell, blah, blah, blah. No, just don't. Just no.
I know, it's working.
Ugh, whatever.
But that's not going to get you bookings.
That's not going to get you bookings.
Yeah, challenge posts are not going to get you bookings.
But what you're going to find, though, is that when you are constantly doing challenge posts, people unfollow you. They may still be your friend, but they unfollow you because they do not want you to be on their personal wall with a challenge once a week because you're trying to reach a personal goal for yourself, okay? Because let's face it, I'm being challenged is all about you. It's not about anybody else but you. Which leads me to the last point on the do not side, which is, again, reiterating what Angela said, this is not about you, right? Bookings are never about you. It is about everything that we can do for somebody else, and we are blessed to be on the reciprocating end of what happens when we bless other people, okay? So let's talk about what you do need to do. You need to focus on your relationships with your customers, okay? So, it's all well and good to green dot people, but if you don't have relationships with your customers, guess what they're going to do? They're going to read it and not respond, right? And now you've just wasted 10 seconds sending a message to them for them not to respond to you. So no matter whether it's reaching out to people to just say hi, ask them how they're doing, completely unbusiness related to actually get to know someone, or scrolling down your personal wall and remarking on people's posts, not just liking them, guys. Don't just go down and like. Actually comment. Actually show that you care about what you're reacting to.
And when you comment on people's posts, the guideline to stay out of Facebook jail, you want your comments to be no less than 5 words, and you don't want to be making the same comment over and over. You know, you don't want to be going to everybody's page and say, oh, your dog is adorable. Your dog is really cute. Your dog is, no.
Robot.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're going to look like a bot, and they're going to lock you up in Facebook jail with Joanna, and they're going to throw away the key.
Take pictures, guys, of you, of your children, of you in your kitchen, of you using your products, of your meals, of your flops, of your beautiful, perfect meals, your failures. People want to see it because they want to know that you're human, right? Because we're
get to
Pampered
know
Chef.
your Facebook friends and let them get to know you.
Right.
Be real. If you have an aversion to lizards, let the whole Facebook world know you have an aversion to lizards. You want to brand yourself. So people who come to my shows and become my Facebook friends, anybody who knows me on Facebook knows I'm a chocoholic and I'm a yogi. 2 things. When people think of, and I'm always cold. And you'll notice this if you look at my Facebook. People are constantly posting a cold meme, a yogi meme, or a chocolate meme on my wall.
Mm-hmm.
Dana, who's here with us, the whole Facebook world knows she hates lizards. So her customers, when they see a meme of a lizard, they're gonna tag her in it. When they see a lizard, it's gonna remind them of Dana, and they're going to laugh. You want to have something about you that sticks with people, that makes them come back to you, that reminds them of you. I have a customer, I see her maybe once every 5 years. She does a show, but out of the blue one day, she calls me up. Are you home? I have something for you. And she comes over with a vintage Hershey's mug filled with Hershey Kisses. She was out garage sailing. She saw a Hershey's mug. She bought it for $0.25 because she thought of me. And then she filled it with kisses and brought it to me. That's what you want to be building with your customers. Relationships. Because when you have relationships with people, then they are going to invite you into their homes, whether it be in person to do a cooking show or virtually through your screen. They have to get to know you. They have to get to know your personality and say, okay, this is somebody I could do business with, because ultimately this is somebody I can do business with will turn into, this is somebody I'd like to have a working relationship with, and I'd like to join their team.
Remember, I want you guys to think about it, especially in the cooking show world. People are inviting you into their home and exposing their families to you. So there has to be a trust there, okay? I know for me, myself, I have 4 children, and I'm not bringing anybody into my house unless I know you, right? Unless I have a sense of what kind of person you are not coming anywhere near my children. So people, that is the way that your future hosts get to know you, is by what content you're giving them, okay? So if you're giving them absolutely nothing, they have nothing. They don't know you from Adam, okay? But if you're showing them your family and how important, your family is, and, your humor and, all of those other fun things about you, they have a sense of what kind of person you are before you step through their door or through their screen, okay? Engage with people. You're not just there to sell products, right? Yes, the side effect is that we want to sell lots of scrapers and lots of mix and chops, right? But we want to give solutions to people, okay? So if you keep solutions at the center of everything that you do when you're on social media, those bookings are naturally going to come. They're naturally going to be a side effect because people, they get hungry for it, okay? When you're on your VIP group or your business page, that is the place for people to step into your kitchen when you go Facebook Live, right? Let's do a really quick demo of a chocolate lava cake and get people hungry for that lava cake. And then the natural side effect is that they want to host or, buy the Rock Rock, right? But if I just blanket put pictures of, oh my gosh, the Rock Rock's on sale next month, look, you can get a 60% off. Do you think people are going to buy it if they really don't know what the benefit of having the product is? Okay. So you need to teach yourself to show the benefits of your products, not just the features, okay? And not just that it's on sale. Yes, it's great to tell people when something's on sale. And yes, we want them to know what the upcoming specials are. So what I challenge you guys to do is, next month, anything is 60% off when they host a show, right? Anything for 60% off. So what power tool do you have in your kitchen right now, okay, that you can go Facebook Live with tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day? So for like the next 5 days, right? And make a different recipe every single day. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, you guys. It can be, let me show them how to make pasta in 12 minutes in the Rock Crock. I can make pasta in the Rock Crock faster than you can boil water in a pot, okay? So when you show a mom that, guess what? They're like, okay, I need that because life is busy on Thursdays when the kids have dance class and sports. And I need to have a way to put, dinner on the table for my kids.
But
So challenge yourself.
I'm scared to go Facebook Live. What if I mess up?
Guess what? We're all human. Did any of you guys sign up to be like the next Iron Chef when you became a Pampered Chef? None of you are the next Iron Chef, are you? Okay. I'm just making sure, because if you are, I need to know where you're living at so I can come eat with you. But, seriously though, guys, we are pampered, not perfect. You probably have heard that 1,000 times. My son runs right by in the background 100 times a month in underwear, okay? And my customers laugh about it because they know what's going to happen, okay? If I'm working in my kitchen during the daytime and I go Facebook Live, my customers know that I'm probably wearing business on the top and pajamas on the bottom. That's what they expect from me. Okay, that is what they expect. They know me as a person. I do not pretend to be someone I'm not, okay? I am Becky all day long, 365 days a year. I am nobody else. I can't be Carolyn. Be you. Just be you. Be no one else. You can't be anyone else.
And the more you botch a recipe, the more you screw things up, the more relatable you are.
Absolutely.
Meeting Monday night, we were putting together the veggie marinara, hidden veggie marinara, blah, blah, blah. All done, ready to serve it to my team. Guess what I forgot to add to the pasta? Want to out me, girls?
Oh, Lord. I don't even
Forgot
know.
to add the sauce.
Oh, geez.
Hidden
Carolyn.
veggie marinara sauce. I forgot to add to the pasta.
Lord help you.
Pampered Not Perfect.
They
It's
don't
okay.
know any better. Your
Did any of
customers
them
don't
quit?
know any
No,
better.
they're still here. The more we mess up, the more relatable we are. That makes people want to do shows with us because they know we're not all perfect.
Look, I will never be perfect, and I am not trying.
Not gonna even
Sorry.
bother.
I am who I am. And if you don't like me, guess what? You have the opportunity to not do business with me too.
Next.
Just want to do business with me. So look, one thing you'll learn about me is I am real. I will give it to you guys straight. I am not a sugarcoater. I don't have time for that. So here's 2 more things for you. Follow on your personal wall. Okay. This is personal wall. Follow the 80-20 rule. Okay. 80% is about you, your family, your life. 20% is about your business, okay? If you are constantly puking Pampered Chef all over your customers, they are going to tune you out, I promise you. Just take it from someone that's been doing this for 8 years. Take it from Carolyn that's been doing this for 25,000 years.
Not that old. Come on now.
Seriously, again, it's that little, the Wizard of Oz with the wizard behind the little screen. People need to see what's behind the screen. You have to show them you and your genuine self. And that's how people relate to you. Your main source of Pampered Chef content should be either in your VIP group or in your business page. And there, my friends, is where you follow an 80% business, 20% you rule. So it's completely the exact opposite when you're in your business side of things. But you still need to give them that 20% of you. It is extremely important. Customer care. OMG, you guys. How many of you guys, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys have ever hosted a show with another direct sale company? We probably all have.
Yeah.
Now keep your hands up. I want you to keep your hands up if you've hosted for another direct sale company. Now, how many of you have had a message from said consultant 30 days out? Drop your hand if you haven't. Okay. We want to be the standout in direct sales. not the ones that sit back and do nothing. I have done customer service my entire life since I was 16 years old, and I will tell you the difference between a customer being a customer and a customer being a lifetime customer. And that is every time that you make them feel special. And how you make them feel special is by following up with them to see how their products are. If you can offer recipes, do not make customer care about bookings, okay? Bookings are, again, a natural side effect of what we do. So if you follow up the first time, the very first, customer care follow-up is to say thank you. It's to say thank you so much for supporting my business and supporting your friend Sally Sue, right? Couple weeks later, you're following up and you're saying, hey, Carolyn, just wanted to check and see how you like the Rock Crock. Can I help you with any new recipes? Again, not about Becky getting a booking. The third time is a little bit different. If you've done the first time, you've done the second time. The third time is when you have my permission to then say, hey, just wanted to share with you, hope you're enjoying the Rock Crock. Just wanted to share with you that, these are our specials in the next couple of months. Do you have any, anything on your wish list that I can help you with? Whatever the words are that you use. Customer care is when you gain the confidence of your customers, okay? Customer care is when you gain a lifetime customer versus just a customer that's giving you a one-time paycheck. Period. End of story. So who is the one person that will never cancel on you? Yourself. You're exactly right, Adrian.
My 17-year-old son just said, yourself.
You are the only person that will not cancel on your calendar. Hold on. But do we? Yes. You are the person that every month when your calendar does not look the way it should, you should have a standing date on your calendar. Period. Okay? No matter whether it's you doing an open house, you doing some kind of workshop with one of the power tools, or you doing a freezer meal workshop, this is an extra layer of customer service that you're providing to your customers. Open your home. Okay? If we're asking them to open their homes, why wouldn't we, in the same respect, open our homes to them? Open your home. I don't care if your house is too small. I don't care if you don't have the best furniture. I don't care if you have a tiny kitchen. Guess what? Our customers, those are the same objections they give you. Why would we give that same objection to them? So have a standing date on your calendar and do not cancel. But if you have a standard date on your calendar, you need to host coach yourself. So everything that you ask your hosts to do, guess what?
Demand of yourself.
You have to do the same exact thing. So if you're hosting a virtual side of things, you're doing a virtual freezer meal workshop or a virtual workshop or a virtual open house, host coach yourself the same exact way as you are asking your hosts to do. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is that your name attached and not theirs. Everything else still applies. If you're doing an open house at your home, here's some little tips, okay? So again, never cancel on yourself. Have a date on your calendar because it's important. You're committed. Treat yourself like the hostess, like I said. And to get people excited about the event, offer incentives, okay? And what I mean by incentives is, how much more exciting would it be to know that there's going to be a drawing for a blah, blah, blah? For me, I'm a director, so I have a whole ton of stuff over there that I'm willing to get rid of, and it's a tax write-off for me. So if I have an extra, I don't know, Rock Crock or, whatever, I'm just throwing that out there. If I offer tickets for people, to come to my home and come to the open house, some of the things I do tickets for is if they bring friends, right? Because I need new contacts. I want extra people. And so I'm going to give Sally Sue 5 extra tickets for every friend that she brings to my party, right? Or how about if she spends $50, I'm going to give her 5 extra tickets toward that drawing, right? Or how about if Sally Sue books a show, I'm going to give her 15 tickets because, again, focus on what you're wanting your results to be. Okay. So if you want bookings, then you want to put the extra emphasis on bookings, okay? Which means that you're giving away more tickets. How about 5 tickets if they RSVP, right? Hello, we all like to know who's coming to our home. You know, just use that as, you know, something that you can kind of mold. But the whole thing about it is to get people excited, right? So once they're at your home and they see that, oh my gosh, you know, you're gonna get them to your home and you're gonna show them that blender that they can get for 60% off with a quick demo of a chocolate mousse that's made in 15 seconds. You know, not taking much time, and it's 2 ingredients, and guess what? They get to try it. And after they try it, they're going to be like, I need this in my kitchen. So then they're going to take you up on that chance to get the 15 raffle tickets to book the show, right? And to also potentially win whatever the incentive was for everybody coming. All right, so let's talk out and about for a second. Logo wear. If you don't have any, you need to get you some, okay? So I challenge you guys, if you don't own some, get 1 piece. Just get 1 shirt to wear out and about. Maybe your upline, maybe if you message your upline and say, hey, do you have any extra logo wear that you don't wear? You know, because trust me, those of us that have been around for a while, we have a lot of it, right? We have a lot of it, and I'd love to get rid of some of it. So, you know, maybe you do a little something like that. But logo wear. Guys, I can't tell you how many people, they see me in a logo shirt and they're like, oh my God, you sell Pampered Chef? Yes, then I have like 15 new stalkers as I'm going through the grocery aisles, okay? We want stalkers. We do want the stalkers, only the good stalkers. This time of the year, vendor events are another really, really great way to add bookings to your calendar, okay? Vendor events are all about, you know, making new contacts. And if you're doing bookings from scratch, you need new contacts. Okay, the more contacts, the better off you are. And again, you know, you can totally take the same incentive that I just told you and just kind of mold it to a vendor event to get people excited about getting raffle tickets into your drawing. Again, the info is really to get, you know, the contact information. But this time of the year, there's a lot of local events that you'll be able to find in your areas. Fundraisers. Fundraisers are absolutely huge, both from a cooking show standpoint and from a virtual standpoint. Guys, I helped 4 organizations last month. We raised over $1,700 for their organizations. 2 of them were virtual parties and 2 of them were cooking shows, okay? So if you're not tapping into that market, you need to, because again, it shows a side of your business that you're willing to help your local community partners. Okay, it shows that more human side of us when we run a business, especially if you are willing to donate a percentage of your commission. And what you'll find is when you do a fundraiser, they will refer you to other friends. I promise you, especially if you're working.
And they'll refer you to other groups.
Absolutely.
Fundraise. If you fundraise for like the band for one school, you're going to hear from the drama club. You're going to hear from the debate club. You're going to hear from the cheerleaders. And each of those groups is going to open you up to new faces, new people, new customers.
Same thing for your Relay for Life teams, guys. Huge. It's absolutely huge. And right now is when they're all looking for money, okay? So, you know, maybe you know, and I booked all 4, 3 of my 4 I booked because I was reading through my Facebook wall, and I had people that were fundraising and they were posting about, you know, I'm raising money for XYZ. And guess what I did? What was the first thing that I did? The first thing I did was not message them. The first thing that I did was I clicked on their link and I donated $15 to it, right? I donated to their cause. And then I said, hey, Carolyn, did you get my donation? And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You're the best. And I'm like, you know what? I would really love, like, what is your goal? What is the goal for your fundraiser, and how close are you? So ask those questions. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. And she's like, oh my gosh, I still have $350 left to raise. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can I help you with that? Guys, don't be afraid to ask, because if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. Okay? If you don't ask.
The important thing about fundraisers, a misconception about fundraisers. Oh, well, I can only do fundraisers if they're an official group. You know, if they have a bank account that says Joe Schmo's missionary account. Not true. You can do a fundraiser for anybody. Let's say Becky's son stubs his toe and needs Band-Aids, and she needs to run a fundraiser to get Band-Aids for her son with his stubbed toe. We can do that. All we have to do is run it as a cooking show, submit it as a cooking show, I write the check to her son and I take the shopping spree. So that way I'm still getting my partial commission. Your eyes just went, why, April? I said, what? So to flesh it out, I do the fundraiser for, Becky, what's your son's name?
Caleb.
Okay, I do the fundraiser for Caleb's cast. He needs a cast for his arm. So I run this fundraiser just like I would a regular cooking show or a regular virtual show. I submit it as that. I market it as a fundraiser for Caleb. Everybody knows we're raising money for Caleb for his medical bills. At the end, I cut the check out of my own bank account. I can tell Becky that I'll give her 25%, I'll give her 15%. What I name the amount. I write her check. I keep the amount of my commission that's over that check, and I take the shopping spree. So that way I've got the free products to offset what I have just given her. And I can use those products as giveaways. I can sell them at my next garage sale.
For that open house that we were just talking about.
Yep, use them as giveaway prizes for the open house. So
Absolutely.
we're not cutting anybody out of fundraisers. So often I hear people go, oh, I wanted to have a fundraiser, but I was told that Pampered Chef could only do it for this or that. No. We can raise funds for anything.
Absolutely. Yep. So I challenge you guys all to book that fundraiser. Okay. And again, you know, if you can't find someone to do a fundraiser, guess who can do a fundraiser? You.
Pick your favorite charity.
Bridal
Be your
showers.
favorite charity.
Bridal showers are another huge one. We're actually going into one of the busiest seasons with bridal showers, you guys. You may or may not have already known that. And so, you know, who do you know that's getting married? What customers do you have that have family members that are getting married? If you're not advertising, they don't know that you do bridal showers. Okay. If they don't know, how are they going to find out unless you're telling them? Okay. So, any questions on anything I just covered? Because I know I talk fast, just a little bit.
There's also Bless a Business. You can, you know, bake some brownies in the brownie pan, take it up to, you know, an elementary school teacher's lounge or whatever, leave a catalog and just say you're wanting to bless them with brownies and check out, you know.
I want to tack on to that. Rather than just making brownies in the brownie pan, make brownies in the brownie pan, putting kale and fiber in the brownies.
Yes.
Boat press set to make them into little boats. Fill them with protein enriched whipped cream. And now you have just talked about 3 products, four products instead of 1 when you drop it off to the doctor's office, to the gym, to the school, to the accountant.
Great.
Do you guys know how many shows I've done in dentist offices and medical offices? You know, because I'm sure you have a lot of friends that are in those same practices, you know, nurses, busy nurses in doctor's offices, busy, you know, dental technicians in their offices. Most of them have a break room and most of them have a microwave. And guess what? We have a quick cooker and a blender right now that they can just plug in, and you can still do a demo from an office. So every single year I have like 5 or 6 different girls that have shows with me, standing dates on my calendar, because they do an office party with me every single year. Okay. So, you know, we're only limited by our imaginations. You only have 0 bookings on your calendar if you're not working for it. If you're giving the time and the energy into it, I promise you're going to go from having 0 bookings to having a full calendar. But you have to know exactly what your end goal is in mind. So, all right, we have like 10 minutes.
I have a list here of 118 ways to get bookings. I can sit here and read them to you. We would be here all night. So I'm going to read you about every 10th one or so. I will share this list in our group, but just to give you an idea, for any of you who are going, I can't get any bookings, here's 118 ways. Send a catalog to a coworker or a friend who has just moved. People who have just moved, they have thinned out their stuff, and then they get to a new place and realize they need other stuff. Advertise in the church bulletin. Churches have newsletters. You can advertise in those. It's usually very inexpensive. Host a show before, during, or after a PTA meeting. Talk to every school in your area. See if they'll let you spend a half an hour before the PTA meeting or a half an hour after the PTA meeting doing a quick demo. Offer your guests a secret Santa wish list. We're doing shows this time of year. Print out a little something, something that they can each give to their spouse that says, you know, these are the things that I want for Christmas. They can give it to their spouse. Their spouse can come back to you and order whatever that they wanted, whatever that person was requesting. Ask all your past hostesses to talk about and post pictures on social media of the products that they got for free. Encourage your frequent customers to plan a show regularly. I have one customer who does a show every 6 months. She does a cooking show, and halfway between those cooking shows, she does a virtual. Follow up on referrals and referral leads from your door prize slips from your events. Be friendly and enthusiastic. Be approachable. Use open-ended questions to uncover objections. Not do you or don't you want to host a show, but what would you like most about hosting a show? What would be the most exciting thing for you to get for free? What would be the most fun for you? Wine, cheese, and chocolate, or salads and sangria? Set goals, review them constantly, and post your goals where you can see them. Make regular customer care calls to replenish products. Everybody who's bought a pantry item, and we've got plenty of those, follow up with those people. I hosted a show with a spa company a few months ago, back in February. I got a whole bunch of spa products, and I'm running out. She hasn't reached out to me. You think I'm going to replenish those? No, I'll go to Walmart. If she reaches out to me, yeah, I would totally replenish with her. She's not reaching out to me, I'll go to Walmart. Offer businesses an employee or gift incentive program. Write it up as a show. Make your daily 222 calls. You guys know what those are, right? Okay. Have your host show her friends what free host bonuses she's trying to earn. Have your host get them excited about the things that she wants. So there's just a handful of our 118 ways to get bookings. I'll be posting these in our group later tonight.
Awesome. All right, who has questions? Because I know someone has questions. They're just waiting for the moment.
This has nothing to do with what we talked about tonight, but I'm about to do my second recruit call with my new recruit. What am I supposed to talk about? Because I don't remember. It's been a while.
How far is she in Dash? Have you checked that out?
Well, no.
There you go. I would start there. As a future leader, you want to know exactly what you're walking into before you do that call. And one of the really nice things with Dash is that you have insight as the recruiter, okay? You can click on every training that they've completed and dig into it. So if they've just taken the one that's all about their why, you have visibility to that. So you know exactly what their why is before you have that conversation, okay? So I would say start there. If she hasn't really, done much Dash training, then it would be all about her getting on Dash and doing her new consultant tasks. Because there's 20 of them, and those 20 are really important. The first 10 that they do, the whole point of that is to get them kind of discovering why they're doing this business. And then they have their first call with you. And then after that, it's really about setting up the business end of things. Okay. So, after they've set that business end up, then that's kind of when you guys go into either A, launch mode, if you haven't done a launch party with them, or B, helping them through those first couple parties, as the leader and being involved with that process.
Yeah, her first party starts on Monday. It's a
Awesome.
virtual.
Yeah, so I would explore there. I mean, I don't know what the other girls would say, but that's definitely where I would dig in, April.
Exactly what I would say.
Okay.
Yep. Because you definitely always want to kind of have your, I love Dash. I love that it gives us access to things. It's just again, I like to know before I have a conversation. Because if I go into having a conversation about, have you done any Dash and they haven't even started it or, whatever, then I kind of feel like, I'm kind of dumb to even ask if you've, done this, have you set up your direct deposit when I could clearly see if I go in there, whether they have set up their direct deposit or not. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Good question. Anybody else? All right. So everybody knows the goal is how many bookings on your calendar before we have our next call?
10, but I always have 16.
I was going to say I have more than you're supposed to.
Well, I love hearing that you have more. So you're only required to have 8, but those of you guys that are doing virtual side of things, you definitely want to have more than 8. Because we all know nobody likes the flops, but they always happen. You know, life always happens just like the flops do. So yeah, you definitely want to have at least 8 to 12 bookings if you're in the virtual side of things. So if your calendar is not where it needs to be, you only have 1 week left to get it there. Okay.
And we're supposed to be working on October calendar, right?
Yeah. So you want to have your October calendar. I mean, we're 10 days in. I would say October, you know,
I just wanted to make sure I was thinking the right month and not November.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said earlier, if it's me looking at my calendar when I evaluate things, I'm always at the 15th of the month. I should be booked. You know what I mean? I should be like working on November by halfway through this month.
Yeah, I got that.
I'm already full for October, so I mean.
So you definitely want to, I would say, have at least like, you know, if you've already submitted some shows in October, that's awesome, but you're still going to want to have like, you know, 6 to 8 shows then for the rest of this month to be able to, you know, we're asking you to submit 8 shows basically in the month. Does that make sense? Is that better? Yeah. So if you're not where you need to be, you still have some time to get yourself there. Okay. So stay committed to it. Okay. What I want to remind you guys before we leave, that yes, there will be homework. Okay. Cause we all love homework, right? Did anyone get overwhelmed with last week's homework? No?
I did.
The problem I had was I was on vacation, so I got it like.
And Adrienne raised her hand and she says yes. And you know what? It's okay to be overwhelmed, you guys. Okay. Because if this program is important to you, then you will be overwhelmed because you are working to a level of your own personal expectation that is probably higher than some other people's. Okay. And so, you know, what I don't want you to feel is stress. There's a difference between being overwhelmed and being stressed about something. We should always be overwhelmed when we're going for leadership because not only are you getting ready to be the leader of a team of people that are counting on you, right? But you're also going to have to figure out the way to maintain your own personal business. And so those things can be overwhelming, right? But the benefits far outweigh all of the overwhelming feelings when you become a leader with Pampered Chef. Okay.
I just got a new recruit. I'm so excited.
Yay! Go April. That's exciting.
Number 2 for this month. Woo-hoo.
Yay. Next director right there. It's exciting. So
yeah, you guys.
Sorry, I just couldn't help it.
It's definitely, you know, there's going to be some feelings attached, but if you feel stressed, the opposite end of that, don't hang on to that feeling by yourself. Reach out to your leader, okay? And let us help walk you through that emotion that you're feeling. Because,
post on our group page and let
absolutely
pitch in and, you know, this is a group. We're all here for each other.
There's other people that are probably going through the same feelings as you. So, okay, so this week you are going to have 2 calls to listen to. But guess what? I know your heart just skipped a beat probably. You're like, oh my God, 2 calls. One of them is 4 minutes and the other is 11 minutes. Okay.
Perfect time. That's how long I'm on the elliptical.
So does that make you feel any less like the heart calmed down a little bit when I said 2 trainings? It's 15 minutes total. There will be a Google Doc for you guys to also fill out the same thing. Okay. Homework is due by Monday, the end of Monday. And you do have to make contacts. Remember, it's 2-way contacts. So I don't think the leaders had really discussed a number of contacts, but I'm thinking at least 5 a day is probably what I would say. Are we all in agreement to that? Okay. So 5 contacts a day, which means 5 2-way conversations with people. Okay. Track your results. Make sure you share them with your leaders, you know, and just breathe. Just breathe. It's going to be okay. I promise you. You have 4 leaders that have been around the block. we've, probably faced down every challenge in this business that is thrown our way. And so, you're not alone. Like, you're totally not alone. So, any other questions, you guys? Leaders, anything else you want to say? All
Proud
right.
of you guys for showing up.
Yeah. So let's see who makes it to week 3 next week.
I
All
think
right, guys.
every one of these faces is going to be there next week.
Have a great weekend. Go fill those calendars up. Go recruit those people with that $39 kit. If you guys, I'm telling you, if you really set your mind to promoting this month, you could do it. This is the month that really, if you said to yourself tomorrow, hey, self, we're going to do this. This is the month to do it, and I have 21 days to make it happen. Guess what? If you flip that switch in your brain and you go from stinking thinking right now that you can't do it, to saying tomorrow, you know what, I can do this, you can do it. But you have to decide what you can and can't do. Nobody else can decide it for you. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.